in spirit and in truth. So any worship done outside the spirit, outside the truth, is not a worship that God can accept, because not all worship God can accept. But he said, I am looking for a true worshiper. A true worshiper. Somebody can come to the altar and worship God, but God said, I've not found you as a true worshiper yet. Why? Because your heart is not right. There was a son of God in the Old Testament. The things he was doing was right, but his heart was not right before God. So somebody can be doing things outside and people will be praising him and say, oh, you are a very good person. But God wins men by the inward. So if you are talking about sounds of worship, if you are talking about worship, worship starts from the heart. Can I shock you? God told me some time ago, he said the first worship is surrender. Are you with me? The first worship is what? Is surrender. So for God to first of all lead you to praise and worship him, but the first thing is that you and I must surrender our whole life to him. So the day a man said, I received Jesus as my Lord and personal Savior, from today Jesus take my life, that is the first worship. Because when God created Adam and Eve, they see the first thing that happened is that God made them to understand the life of surrender. So it was the life of surrender, it was the life of worship, it was the life of communion that Adam and Eve had with God that set us up. Are you with me now? Set did not see whether you see that they were not walking but they were eating. Hello? They were not walking. No, Adam and Eve, they were not walking but they were eating, because everything was with them. But there was something that Satan saw in their life. He said God will come in the good evening of the day to commune with man. So what's the first thing that Satan saw was that communion, that worship. So when we're talking about sounds of worship, it's deeper than what we think. Because our human brain, we are too limited to understand the weight, the sounds of worship. That's why whenever we worship God, do you know what? Satan is always angry. Anytime you may fast, Satan may not be angry now. You may pray, Satan may not be angry now. But when you worship, you are reminding him of what he did or what he was doing those days. So when it comes to the atmosphere of worship, Satan will fight it. Why? Because he knows that is the key to a lot you are looking for in God. Because in God there are different measures. In God there are parts. When Moses said, oh Lord, I begin to see your glory, and God said, nobody see me and leave, but because you are my friend, I will show you my back. It was the part of God that God showed Moses. Can I shock you? When Lucifer was still in heaven there, when he sing, oh my goodness, things will change. The atmosphere will be charged. The atmosphere will be charged. Things will change. Things will change. And when God will stand on his throne,